Hi everyone, this is Noah Sandler from Mtgo Academy, and today I'm going to be doing an Oath of the Gatewatch release event, basically an 8-4, so let's jump into queue. This is going to be my second draft of the format, but I did watch the Pro Tour, so I do have an idea about different archetypes, but still it can be treated kind of like a first look at the format, how to look at a change in the draft format. So it's going to be 2 Oath of the Gatewatch packs and 1 Battle for Zendikar pack. So the new cards are going to be significantly more influential than Battle for Zendikar. So we'll see what we get here. There's Neil Spires. I'll check how much that's worth. I don't know if it's going to be too much. And then Isolation Zone and Ondu War Cleric are the other best, I guess, are the best cards. So I'll check Spires. I think Isolation Zone probably better than the Cleric. So I'll go to trade. Okay, it looks like it's not worth much. I did hear some people say that Cleric is up there with best white common, but I'm going to go with Isolation Zone. So Seagate Wreckage, Blinding Drone, Scion Summoner, Prophet of Distortion. So let's check price on Seagate. It's not worth anything. Blinding Drone, probably the best card in the pack. Scion Summoner could also be pretty nice with white-green. It makes 2 creatures, so it's good for support. So that could also be a pretty reasonable pick. In fact, maybe I'll... I think Drone is a better card generally, but I think I'll go with the Summoner. I think green-white support could be a pretty nice archetype. That said, there is a Cyclone Sire here, so I think we're going to go back into blue. Step Glider's decent, but Sire, I think, is just a pretty big sign here that blue's open, so we'll take that. So Unknown Shores, Stonehaven Outfitter, Mobilizer Eldrazi, Netcaster Spider. So I think it's between Shores and Spider if we want to go for green. I mean, Shores gives us Diamond Mana, which right now we don't need, but it also helps us fix. So it's pretty nice to pick this up relatively early. The Outfitter, there's just not that much equipment, so it's mostly a 2/2 for 2, which is not really exciting. So I think it's between Spider and Shores. And if we are green, I think Spider's going to be better, unless if we end up with a good amount of colorless stuff. I guess I'll go with the Spider. So Hissing Quagmire, Stalking Drone, Lead by Example, Core Scythe Master, Tranquil Expanse. So I'll check on the Quag, and it's not worth much. So I think it's probably just the Stalking Drone. So green's looking reasonably open. I don't know if I'm going to be white to want the Expanse. So we'll go with Drone. So Saddleback Lagak, Spawnbender Mage, and Void Shatter. We'll take the Lagak. Be good if we're going for the support deck. At the Pro Tour, watching the coverage, people seem really high on the card. And if you think of it as I wouldn't say it's best case scenario, but if you think of like a 5/3 as far as how much overall power and toughness you're getting in play, and then 2 of that is haste, that can be very powerful. And it's not always going to end up just like that, but it definitely has a lot of potential to pretty much win games on turn 4 if you have a good curve out. We'll take another Lagak. Red seems pretty open. Zaw's Commando, so Crumbling Vestige. With the Stalking Drone, I now like to pick up a little bit of colorless mana. And Make a Stand's also decent. There's a Holdout Settlement. Kozilek's Pathfinder, Mighty Leap. Take the settlement. And we'll take Unknown Shores. And I guess another settlement. I don't think we'll need this much colorless. Could take a translator, I suppose. I only have one white card, one blue card. So I'm not locked into any color other than green. I'll still just take the settlement, I suppose. I don't really like any of these. Couldn't imagine we'd have a deck, considering we have almost no need for colorless mana right now, that would actually run like 4 colorless lands. Guess we'll take Negate. Outfitter came back. Sure. So we'll see with pack 2. We did pass that 2/2 for 2 Cliffhaven something. So maybe we put the person to our left and right into white. Other than that, we passed some decent red and black that seemed to be sort of open that pack. We passed a little bit of blue, so I'm not really sure what we're going to see in pack 2, but green's definitely the place to be, and I can just jump into whatever's open. So we've got Sylvan Advocate, Oblivion Strike, Allied Reinforcements. We'll take the Advocate. It's really good. It's obviously a push card. 2/3 for 2 is already very good. Gets Vigilance, it's an ally, and then it's not that hard to get 6 lands into play and make it 4/5. And it pumps your other land creatures, which can be relevant. So it's a pretty nice first pick. There's a Crush of Tentacles, Stalking Drone, Netcaster Spider, Grip of the Royal. So let's see if Crush is worth it. It's not. I mean, if you have enough 1 and 2 drop creatures or cards, it could be pretty good. I mean, it has good chances of winning a game if you can surge it for sure. So I could take it. Grip of the Royal could potentially be better than Crush. Crush for 7 mana. If you have a 2-drop left over, could maybe set that up. It doesn't really fit the support theme of the deck. And I don't know if I'm blue yet. I guess I'll just take the drone, but yeah, I think Crush is fine to take there. But considering I might not even be blue-green, I like taking a solid 2-drop. So we have Lagak versus Shoulder to Shoulder. I don't know if we're going to be blue or if we're going to be blue or white. Shoulder to Shoulder is really nice. I don't think it's worth taking over Lagak, not knowing if I'm going to be white. So I'll just take the Lagak. Okay, another Cyclone Sire. I think I can take that as enough of a signal that blue's the place to be. So we didn't really see white pack 1, and we're not seeing white pack 2. So white's probably just being overdrafted at this table. So I can safely move in for the Sire here. It's a pretty powerful pack, so in a way it might not actually be a signal since there's just so many good cards here, but I think blue seems like the better place to be. There's a Spawn Binder Mage, Gift of the Tusks, Gift of Tusks, Slip Through Space. So I gotta decide if the Spawnbender Mage, just in case if we move back into white, if that's going to be worth taking over. Something not really exciting. Gift of Tusk doesn't seem that good. Usually this effect is nice because it's flexible, but I think this takes a little too much work to make it good. You're kind of hoping for a 1-for-1. It's not very good as a pump spell. Could take Slip Through Space. Yeah, I'll take Slip. Lead by Example, Seer's Lantern, McKindy Aeronaut, Struce Interference. I think I'll take Lead by Example. Baloth Null, Cultivator Drone, Gravity Negator, Lead by Example. I think Negator could be really good here. So we do have we have infinite colorless mana if we want it, and then we can make like a Lagak flying or just other big creatures. The Null's quite good, and with the holdout settlements and unknown shores, we could splash black even in the blue-green deck, but I think Negator's already going to be really good, so I'll go with that. And Void Grafter. Alright. Definitely get paid off for being blue-green. Unity of Purpose, Obstruse Interference, Kozilek's Pathfinder, Tranquil Expanse. So, Unity... it can be cool. It does seem weaker than our Lagax or Lead by Examples, just because it's cheaper. You can blow people out, but it might be a little overkill. So I think I'm just going to take the Pathfinder, which we should have a decent number of colorless sources to make it a good finisher. And Grip of the Royal or Netcaster Spider. Grip's pretty nice, Spider's pretty nice. Our creature count's pretty high. I think I can go with Grip. We've got a lot of cheap stuff to surge it. Go with Entangler, card's decent. Cultivator Drone, probably not going to run that. It's okay though, I mean it's at least a 2-3 for 3. Obstruse Interference, probably don't need to run that. So this deck's looking a lot better. I think we're in the right colors. And we should see pretty good green in pack 3. Maybe not too much blue, but we only need about 6 more playables. So there's an Endless one. That card's really good. It's probably worth little too, since it's being played so much in Modern. And probably Standard as well. So we'll take that. And Lifespring Druid or Incubator Drone. So Drone can be nice with support. Though, I mean, you're not too excited to just support onto a 1/1. It's not a big deal. The Druid's okay. We have some decent things to excel into. So I guess Druid and Drone are kind of similar in that sense. I guess I'll go with Druid. Suppose Tightening Coils versus Eyeless Watcher. And we don't really have much removal, so I'll go with the Coils. I think our creature count's pretty high. You know, having something that puts 3 creatures in play seems pretty nice for support. But I think we're gonna have enough creatures. All of our support cards will just support 2, so putting 3 creatures into play, it doesn't really break the support mechanic. So we'll go with Coils. Tajiru Warcaller, that can break that card that we just passed. Yeah, we'll definitely take that. Invoker would also be nice. And there is an Eyeless Watcher, Plummet, Rush of Ice. Do we want the Watcher now? Probably. Rush of Ice would be kind of cool too. Just give us some pseudo removal, because we're going to have a lot of kind of 2/2, 3/3 type creatures in play. So being able to tap a really big blocker could be nice. The Watcher is nice with the Warcaller as well. That's pretty close. I'll go with the Watcher. So, Retreat. Has this card gotten better? Not really. Mist Intruder. That doesn't do too much. I guess I'll take a Scour. Swallow Growth. Not that exciting. In some matchups I might want Scour. Sanctum of Ugin. Cast a color spell. They sack it. Search your library for a colorless creature card in your hand. Oh, you cast expensive. Okay, that's not very good. Unified Front. That'd be okay. Stalwart. That's not bad. Because we have extra sources of other colors. Might just take Rune Processor. I think we've got enough ramp to cast it. It's not the best fit. Or actually, we have no way of processing stuff, so... Well, I mean, it's still a 7-8. It's not bad, but... I might just go with Stalwart. Core Home Guide could be good here. Though it's hard to take over Plummet, which is guaranteed to be a nice sideboard card. The guide might make the main deck. I mean, I was saying how it would be nice to be able to push things through, and it seems good in a blue-green deck. Get rid of the Scour. So I like taking strong sideboard cards, so this is kind of close. I guess I'll just go with the Plummet. And we did get a Rush of Ice back. And Eyeless Watcher. And another Rush of Ice. So yeah, deck looks pretty strong. Can definitely just beat people with a Curve Out, 2-drop, 3-drop Lagak. Has some nice late game plays. All the 5-drops and up can finish games. So 27, so Slip could go, Plummet. Stalwart should be nice if we've got. I mean, I don't know, like whether we're gonna run all 3 of these lands. I'll have to take a look at the deck first. Definitely gonna run the Shores, and then maybe 1 Settlement. I just want to make sure I have enough green mana to at least cast a 2-drop on turn 2. Middle cut a Watcher. I think I would like to get colorless mana. Like I'd like to get 1 colorless land source every game. I've got Negator, Drone, 2 drones, and Pathfinder. I guess I'm okay not getting a colorless source. So I could cut 1 settlement. This one 2. So Stalwart on turn 3 is probably going to be a 2/3. It is an ally, so it pumps Warcaller. The turn after I play Warcaller, can draw Stalwart to pump it. And then later in the game, it can be a 3/4 using Shores or Settlement. And then we also have Lifespring Druid, so that also helps with it. So 24 right now. Probably just want to cut 1 more card, go 17 lands. So possible cuts, Mara Entangler. We don't have that many non-creature spells, so this is pretty much a 2-1 for 2. And we do have, well, we have 3 2-drops right now. Yeah, I might want to keep 4. Cultivator Drone. Drone would also be okay. It could maybe be better than Stalwart, because it does activate Stalking Drone's Negator, and we can cast Pathfinder or Endless One with it, while still being like a 2/3, which is usually what Stalwart's going to be. I think I'll make that switch. I think I like both Rush of Ice. So it gives us 3 ways to tap down creatures. Lead by example could be maybe a little weak. We got 19, basically 21 creatures with the 2 Rush of Ice, and then some cards make multiple creatures. So we're pretty creature heavy. Could just cut Drone or Entangler. Entangler gives us 4 2-drops, which I like, because I really want to have a 2 on turn 2 in this deck. So I guess I'll cut. Does a Drone or Lifespring Druid? Druid can cast the Sires, or give us our 4th mana maybe. Can cast Rush of Ice. Pretty nice with Rush of Ice, so I guess I'll cut the Drone. And add lands. 8 and 7 probably. Okay, submit, and I'll see you for round 1. Okay, ready for round 1. So we'll play first, and this hand's great. This is one of those hands that we could definitely just win on turn 4. Advocate into Summoner into Lagak, and then very possibly into Pathfinder the next turn. And another Lagak. So this, I would consider this probably unbeatable. Okay, bail off Pup. So probably just want to spread around the damage here. So we'll go one of the Scion. Could put the other one on the Summoner and just kind of force a trade, so we'd still have the Scion to sack to play Pathfinder, but I think we're just going to play another Lagak next turn anyway. And this way we get more damage. Yep, that's the correct block. So yeah, this is what we're going for. Drafting and building this deck is for this type of draw. It's fortunate to be able to get it, but that's why I also played the Entangler as an extra 2-drop, make it more likely that you can get that God draw. Yeah, let's run it back. Okay, another pretty strong draw. It would be nice to get an island so you can go turn 2 Entangler into turn 3 Druid. But either way, we'll probably get a 5/5 Endless one on turn 4 off the Druid. So have a Warcaller. Loam Larva, it's pretty good against our Entangler, because we don't have too many non-creature spells. So I think I do want to play the Entangler. I could hold it for after I go for Warcaller to then pump, like get a second pump, but I think I just like one. I kind of just want to have stuff on the board. Considering my opponent's next play, it might hold a Lone Larva back, save a little bit of damage. I might be able to trade with this for my opponent's next creature. And then also the turn that I go for the Warcaller, it's going to pump the Entangler as well, so I'm going to get more damage in that way. Plus, I do have, I think, a few more allies in the deck, so I might be able to draw another ally anyway to get the second pump out of Warcaller. So opponent just sits back. Go with Druid. So we can go for the 5/5 Endless one, or we could wait, and the longer we wait, the bigger it gets. You don't want to make it. You don't want to play too early where your opponent is able to just trade like 1-for-1 with it, where otherwise they would need to trade multiple things for it. And it is such a powerful card that, like, unless if you're getting beat down really quickly, if you just play a 7/7, you could recover. I really hope we draw something good on our next turn. Like a Cyclone Sire would be probably the best draw in our deck. Yeah, we'll just take all this damage. I don't want to double block. And we can swing back for a decent amount. Okay, didn't draw the Sire. So it's 5/5 Endless one, or like I don't like going Warcaller, attack for 4. It's not very good. So I'm tempted to run out the Endless one. We do get to go for Pathfinder the next turn, and we can go Warcaller, pump everything, get a big swing in. So that seems pretty good. Otherwise, we're pretty much just passing the turn and taking extra 4 damage, and then going with Pathfinder, and that might be a little bit too slow. So I'm just going to run out the Endless one now. And the Endless one is in range where a pump spell might get it. If the opponent attacks with Scythe Master, I wouldn't block if they did. It's actually a pretty good bluff spot for the opponent to go with Scythe Master attack here. Like, the value of me being right with the block isn't quite worth me losing a 5/5. And if they do have a pump that kills Endless one, then their Scythe Master is still is going to stay alive. So there's a lot of reasons why it'd be a good idea for them to attack here. Now, does that mean that I should actually block because it's a good bluff opportunity? No, I think it's still best for me to just take the damage. If I knew 100% that they would attack regardless of if they had it or not, then I would block. But I don't know if that's the way they're thinking. So I think it's best to just wait and take the damage. So this is kind of cool. We're just going to go with the Pathfinder and attack for 2. And hope we're not in too much trouble. One more support card could be pretty brutal. I don't really mind taking a hit from the Scythe Master. I do have a few chump creatures in play. I can buy some time. Ruin in their wake. So search for a land card. So opponent gets a waste, puts it into play. Tapped. Okay. So far we're okay. if they can't attack this turn, that's really nice for us. And Grove Tender Druids, so that's not a problem. So they're going to pass it back to us. I'm going to draw a Stalking Drone. So we could go for. I mean, I don't love attacking with Pathfinder. If opponent double blocks, I'm pretty unhappy. I think we can go for Stalking Drone, pass, hold up Void Grafter, and try to set up a good turn for Warcaller. We could also go Warcaller, attack with everything. I think it'd be better if we wait a little bit before we do that, so I think I'm going to go with the Stalking Drone play. Yeah, you can't really attack with Pathfinder because they double block. I don't want to trade with the Grove Tender. I don't want them to get 1/1s, but I think losing the 5/5 is pretty bad. And I do think that they would double block there. You could. Wait, they searched for a waste and they didn't put it in? Wait. Oh, you can put it in the battlefield tapped. You control a land name waste. So you have to already have the waste for that to work. Okay, opponent goes for Birthing Hulk. And that's pretty good. Let's see. Get 2 regenerated. So we can't really deal with that. That's very good. So we need to draw something like Rush, some way of tapping that probably. That is a way of tapping it. So it's probably best, and it sucks that they have the Science too, because I mean, if we go for a big attack with Warcaller, they can get multiple chumps. So I think best thing we can do is just go to their turn, play Void Grafter, and grip the Birthing Hulk. Or wait, we don't. I guess we don't need to surge it. We can just cast it. So hold on to the Void Grafter. I guess I'll just throw a Void Grafter out there. Really hope I draw something. But this Birthing Hulk's just really tough for us to deal with. Even with the waste mana, we can make the Birthing Hulk not block the Pathfinder, but we need some way of stopping the Birthing Hulk. There's another 5/4 Trampler, and they get a 1/1. Yeah, this game's kind of floating away at this point. It's just really hard for us to stop the Birthing Hulk. So we're not going to go for a Warcaller attack. It just doesn't accomplish much. We're just going to kill a couple of Scions. So I think we'll just wait, and I'll hold on to the Void Grafter. So we did get our colorless source, but nothing we can really do with that. So this game might take a little while longer, and I guess it's not over yet. Because we could draw a flyer, but it's going to be really tough to actually stop the Birthing Hulk. Perhaps we should put the Scour from Existence in as an answer to Birthing Hulk, because we don't have that many ways to deal with it. They have waste mana. So opponent can probably just attack with Pathwarden here, and I might just go for Void Grafter, double block with the drone. I don't want to lose my 5/5, and the Grafter prevents me from losing my Entangler, the double block there. Seer's Lantern, that's going to be a problem. It's going to be hard to beat scrying every turn. Take a look at my deck. So tightening coils, gravity negator, and I guess some of my support cards. That's the best I can do. I think I will jump. I think protecting half my life total is okay. So, and another flyer, another creature. So it's just about out of reach. I think next turn we need to draw an answer to the Birthing Hulk. Even then, it might be too late, and we didn't, so we'll concede. So plummet, we just saw that one flying creature. Don't want natural state. Negate, they did have the Mrs. Judgment, that was pretty good. Interference could be okay. Generally, this is going to come down to can we curve out. Maybe Entangler can go. They're like at that 1-3. So Eyeless Watcher or Scour. Or Cultivator Drone. I'll go for Scour. Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty good hand. So we do have a 2-drop. We've got Colorless for the drone to pump it up. And if we draw an island, we can go for turn 4 Gravity Negator with Colorless mana. And we also have a Lagak. So we have a lot of good stuff if we can get some creatures in play. So we really need to get like a 3-drop, the 2-drop or 3-drop next turn, and then we need to draw some lands, especially islands. Okay. So that's also fine. Just getting for 3 this turn, and we can go for Negator next turn. And this kind of has a lot going for it. So we have a lot of flying damage, and then Lagak, who can pump some of our creatures. One of those natural connections, so they're ramping. And then once we have all these creatures out, we can go for Warcaller. And another Lagak. So we're going to have a lot of big creatures, we're going to have a lot of creatures in play, and then they're all going to get really big. So I like our chances this game. It just passes, so go for Lagak. Could have something here. That said, what would be the worst card they could have? Royal Retribution isn't that bad. Encircling Fissure, it's not that bad. think this is an okay attack. An attack, does allow opponent to cast whatever thing they have rather than have to leave up mana for it. But I'm just not thinking of cards in the format that we're getting really hurt by it. So, obviously Wrath next turn would suck. But other than that, it seems like we've got this game. Okay, maybe just go for another Gak. Good War Caller. But one on the Gak, and the other one I don't think matters too much. We'll go for Negator. And everything already flies, so we'll just leave up mana for the Stalking Drone. And my opponent's creatures fly. Actually, I wonder if maybe just leaving the Gak as a 3/1 and putting a counter like on the drone would actually have been better. This way opponent's able to go to 1, and they trade one creature and kill one of ours. But they still get to keep the creature for a pump, or for a chump. It's interesting. Normally you'd think, well, okay, put the counter on the Gak so opponent can't just trade straight up with the Aeronaut. Okay, pull some Marasa, gain 6 life. But maybe it would be better just to, knowing, if I assume that the opponent's going to double block there, I can just let them single block to kill the Gak, and then their other creature could chump, or they would just take the damage, and then they would take extra damage. I would have an extra creature on, or an extra counter on one of my creatures. Deathless Behemoth, it's not too big of a problem. So I was flying with both of these. Opponent has to chump, and then go for Cyclone Sire. The Warcaller isn't enough to do lethal. Okay, I just took the damage. Alright, on to round 2. And deck's performing pretty well. We lost a game where opponent built up a really nice board, and I made sure to draft some stuff like the Rush of Ice and Grip, so we would have some ways to push through. Perhaps the Coral Helm Commander. I do like having one plummet in the sideboard, especially since we don't have much removal. But Coral Helm Commander is another way to push through for damage. once the board gets clogged up, so that would be worth considering. But I mean, that's pretty much the way that this deck can lose, since we can get some really good starts and we get on the board fast. But if opponent gets a bunch of creatures out, especially if they also have flyer, like if they can deal with their Cyclone Sires, Gravity Negator, then they could eventually take over the game. So, yep, I'll see you for round 2. Okay, ready for round 2. So, play first. Hand's a little iffy, but do have double green, double blue, do have a 2-drop. The issue is we're going to need to draw some 3-drop, 4-drop creatures. If we do, this could be an easy win. Like, we draw another good 2 or 3-drop plus a Lagak. I think this should lead to an easy win. If we brick for a few turns, just draw lands, then the cards in our hand become a lot worse. So undo War Cleric, and we did not hit. Definitely going to attack. I mean, in a way, I don't even want my opponent to block, because I want to keep more creatures in play for potential Lagak or the War Caller that I have. But undo War Cleric is pretty strong, so that's probably not going to let it die. Wow, it gets Vigilance, so we get to drain for 2 this turn. Scion Summoner. I don't think it's worth trying to bluff there. If the opponent does block, it's devastating for us. So we can go for a Sire next turn. Kind of just depends on what else the opponent has, because right now their board's pretty nice, but if we're attacking for 3 every turn, that beats the 2 life that they're gaining. So it's going to come down to, I suppose if they can deal with the Sire. If they just destroy it, we get a 3/3, which is relevant on the board. And they forgot to gain 2 life there, so that helps. And starting this turn, I think we're going to go for Warcaller and make a big attack. Okay, they do have the Oblivion Strike, so don't get anything out of that. Yeah, I'm just gonna take this and go for Warcaller. Unless if I draw something better. And another big creature, I'll go for the big creature first. I did. Maybe I could hold that land, play around, discard 2 spell. That could be right. No, just get everything in. So opponent goes to 9. They go to 11. We do have the Rush of Ice, so we could push for some more damage. They have Waste, and they're playing a 6-drop. It's Endbringer. That card is really good, and it's really good against Rush of Ice, unfortunately. So this is not looking good. I mean, our best play might just be to go for Rush and attack with everything, force opponent to make some weak blocks. But after that, things are just going to get worse and worse. They can ping and kill basically all of our creatures. 2 creatures killed a turn. So I'm not sure what else we can draw, but have to tap the Endbringer. And Yeah, I don't know. Try to get lucky. Not sure what we're trying to draw though. I mean, even just attack with everything, it's not that great, but I don't really see what else I can do. The War Caller is never surviving, so I'm not going to be able to get a pump off of it. I'll take a quick look at the deck. I think I'll definitely put the Scour in. This doesn't answer to Endbringer. So Gravity Negator, that's reasonable. Endless One or Pathfinder. Pathfinder I don't think quite does it. Oh, actually, I guess Rush does stop Endbringer from untapping for a turn. But it will untap on my turn, so that's cool. Because its ability only untaps it on other people's turns, so it needs to untap normally. And I think that's pretty much it. One has Flyer. Yeah, just don't have stuff that can. I guess I have like a series of absolute perfect draws I might be able to, so I'll give it a little bit longer and I'll get on to the next game. Alright, get on to the next one. So Scour in, could maybe put in Abstruse Interference. That's another way of dealing with that. Plummet is usually decent against black-white. We saw that one flyer. It was like Vampire Envoy. There's some other flyers that they'll probably have, so I think it's worth putting in. Maybe Lead by Example can go, and the other weak card was Entangler. Seems fine. Okay, play first. Yeah, I think the hand's okay. It is close. I mean, the deck really wants to go 2, 3, 4. That's one of the best ways for it to win. This hand has a 3, and then card we can cycle to draw another card. It has close to perfect mana. I don't know. Maybe I can actually just go to 6 with the Scry Roll. I'm going to get a couple draws. If I draw well, like if I draw a 2-drop and then like a Gak, that's perfect. Just the grip and a lot of other cards might not be that great. Just all this mana. So I think with the new Scry Roll, I might actually just go to 6 here and just hope for a better curve. Okay. Sounds reasonable. Do we want the Lagak? Tough call. Actually, I guess with the Summoner, it gives us 2 creatures, so I'll keep the Logak on top. We can't quite cast it yet, but we just need 1 more land. It'd be one of the better 4-drops we can play. And we do have a Tightening Coils. I guess Coils actually isn't even good against... It's not that good against opponent's deck. Because their creatures have like activated abilities, or something like Endbringer, which just has such a powerful ability. The Gak, or just giving it -6, -0 doesn't really stop it. Oof. That sucks. So, I mean, we'll Gak here, and then we'll go for Warcaller, but doesn't let us get past the 2/4. More Cleric, and Alpha Protector, jeez. Cyclone Sire, that's great. Let's go for that. Let's go attack set. Let's attack. Nope. Another Cleric. Opponent's deck is good. You go 2/2. Probably better to wait on the Warcaller. So attack with the Sire. Mighty Leap. Oh. Okay. Can't stop that. Yeah, I mean, I don't really like their play though. Like, just like, why not just tap my flyer down? But it uses up their mana. So let's move it to the island. Go for drone, and then we'll do Warcaller next turn, probably. Alright, go for the attack here. Yep. This is a pretty nice attack. Every single creature is threatening. If we can draw another ally, this could, we could have a shot at this game. We can go in. And they have a lot of life gain tappers. Double block the Gak. Imagine they have something here like that trick, but this will kill their Cleric. If they allow me to. Seems like they should just take the damage otherwise. Killing the 3/1, they can gain around 2 life a turn. I mean, it's a little sketchier than that because they do have to tap stuff, but alright, come on, give me Sylvan Advocate. Nope. So, coils, that doesn't do much. And they can kill one of my guys if I attack. If they attack with all 3, they double block. I guess I could have gone for coils and then attacked with these 3. Actually, 4. Yeah, I should have gone for coils. Otherwise, only it's worth losing one of these to get in 6 damage. Yeah, I really should have gone for coils. I was thinking their board was a little scarier than it is. Air Thrall. Grip of the Royal. That's nice. So what's the best way to do this? So we could go coils on the Spawn Bender and then grip something. Could just grip the Spawn Bender right now and see what opponent does. I think that's probably best. Or I could actually, well, I could go to their turn. I get 1 extra turn of like attacks with Spawn Bender tapped. This is reasonable. Alright, we'll tap it. Opponent might, in response, tap something down, but that doesn't help them too much. Forest, that's not great. Could do coils on the Carrier Thrall. Just turn that into a chump. Maybe I should have thought it out a little sooner, because I want the colorless mana for the drone. I could keep the coils for something later. Do want to make something happen here. Yeah, go for coils. So I gotta take advantage of this grip, I think. Put that on the Thrall. And everything except for the Warcaller. So we can sack the Scion. 2 less damage, we can maybe save the Stalking Drone. I mean, yeah, if I went for the Titan Coils first before the grip, then I could have the extra mana I could pump. I mean, opponent wouldn't block this way in that case, but I could have drawn something, and that would have changed, because I didn't really want to go for coils this turn. If I drew something else, like maybe could have not made this attack or done something different. So I don't know. It still could have been wrong. I don't know. I think I play a land, right? Because I could have played a land. Hopefully I play a land. So do we want to save the drone? Is that worth it? For 2 damage? I think it is. Gains 2. So it did play land. Alright. Kind of bricking out here. Really need to draw something. That was not what we needed. Let's make the same attack. It goes to 7. There we go. And that's the game. Okay. Knew that was the card we needed. Yeah, that was a pretty close one. I think I could have played a little bit better. But I think the key to that game is just recognizing that your opponent has a really good long game, and you can't just sit there for a bunch of turns letting them gain life. You have to stay aggressive if you can. So I mean, I used some cards like the grip and the tightening coils when they weren't ideal, but it enabled me to keep attacking. Because the longer the game goes, the longer my opponent's or the more advantage that they're gonna have. So we didn't really see any more flyers. I think I can take the plummet out and Spruce Interference, maybe just Eyeless Watcher or Cultivator Drone. Retreats, tap or untap creature. It could be okay. If opponent is going to make the game go long, but problem is we don't have great things to scry into. Could be decent to just like tap down a blocker every turn. Earthen Arms. Put lead by example back in. Opponent didn't really seem to be respecting tricks at all, so that might be okay. Alright. That's a good hand. My opponent does have a lot of good early defense, so this might not be good enough, but especially if we draw like a Gak or something, could be pretty strong. Yeah, can't hate on a 2/4 flash with some upside. Hand would definitely play better on the play. So they have a War Cleric, Alice Watcher. Attack. Man, it could be a trick or something. They definitely could just be open to trading these 1 for 1. And I mean, the War Cleric is just so annoying in a long game. It's hard to say though, because I got the lead by example, so having extra creatures out could be nice. But I still have a lot of creatures that I can play. I think I'm okay with trading here. Okay, Sky Climber. Could be cute to go for Void Graft or Ambush, force opponent to pay the mana, but I don't think that's actually a great play. Like slowing them down by 1 turn is probably not going to give us the win. We'd rather go for the Scion Summoner, and I mean, they just wanted to do that anyway. If we had nothing else, it might be a good play. Let's get in there with the Summoner. And let's go for Alice Watcher. So we can go for Pathfinder next turn. Hopefully we draw land so we don't have to sacrifice too many Scions. Spawn Binder Mage. This card's always really annoying. Tightening Coils. Especially with the mage, I don't really want to sack 2 scions to get the Pathfinder out. So, what else can we do? Can attack with everything and lead by example. I could go coils on one of those, but with the mage out, it doesn't do too much. So maybe I'm considering going for the Pathfinder, sacking 2 scions, but if they have like Oblivion Strike, that would really suck. And if they don't, we probably, we're looking really good. Like, we probably win the game if they don't have a strike. And these scions are pretty nice. We can rush, maybe start getting in with them. We could coils, spawn binder, attack with everything, lead by example to take out the climber. A lot of options. Really wish we drew a land this turn. Then it'd be easy to just play the Pathfinder. I'm going to go with the Pathfinder. Okay, step glider. Okay, have some options. We can go for Necrosis. Disturbance with almost 1 counter on it, gains flying and vigilance this long turn. So we could coils on that and then go to attacks. Yeah, that seems really good. If the opponent tries to tap, maybe we just go for Void Grafter. I mean, that's a good chunk of damage it gets in. So I mean, you could hold it for in case if they top deck real spell, but that's a good load of extra damage. Bones at 10, we've got Rush of Ice and Lead by Example. Filled our Cub, that's annoying, I can kill the coils. They sack it immediately so I can attack for some damage. And they just have 1 card in hand. Attack for 6. Turn. Go land would be good. Go for Rush of Ice. And attack with the 3/3. Grip, actually. Can we win this turn, maybe? Could just go for Grip and hold up Lead by Example. That's pretty strong. Could Grip. Well, actually, if we just go Grip on Spawnbinder, maybe opponent just taps the Pathfinder. It's still not lethal, but we could go for Rush of Ice on the glider. Maybe it is lethal. Let's see. We tap here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Too short. Yeah, let's start with Grip here. Opponent lets it happen. And if we go Rush on the glider, attack with everything, we'll probably be able to win with the Lead by Example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think it's worth it. Rather than waiting a turn. to be able to get the 3/3 out of it. Opponent probably goes for a trade here. Let's see, 7, 8, 9, go to 1. Now they just chump. And I'll go for lead by example. Just on my biggest creatures, I guess. Do a little extra damage in. Oh, could I have sacked the Scion for Mighty Leap? Crap, they had Mighty Leap? I mean, they have no cards in hand. Like, this is basically game over. But if I sack the Scion, it can't block with the Sky Climber. So they block here, it'd take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that would have been lethal. So maybe that would be the play. Alright. So it was a close match, but we got it. Yeah, I think probably sacking the Scion would have been a little better there. It would have been worse if they had like that destroy target attack creature card for 2 mana. But I think that's going to win the game enough at the time that that'd be a better play. I guess also the gain life equal to the damage dealt card for 2 mana also, and prevent the damage. So maybe this play was still right. So, all right, on to the finals. Okay, finals time, and we won the die roll, which is great for our deck. And this is not as good. We really need a forest on turn 3. And we're on the play. If we get a forest on turn 3, it's probably a pretty easy win. We have a 2-drop. I suppose we can play Endless One as like a 2/2 or a 3/3. Suppose if we get an island, we could just go Endless One as a 3/3. It makes the hand a lot less exciting, but at least we're curving out. And if we get the forest, we go Druid into Eyeless Watcher into maybe a big Endless One. Saying Eyeless One. It is on the play though. And we are a little short on green sources, I think. So we have like Unknown Shores, the whatever the other one, Holdout or something. That one could add green. Then we have 8 forests, so it's like 9. So we're gonna get 2 draws. So it's not great odds for us to actually get the forest. And our deck, I think it mulligans reasonably well. Just in that it's going to usually get a good curve. Yeah, I'm just going to go to 6. Alright, it's a less exciting hand, but it's going to be a little more consistent. So I don't think Forest is the best card we could have. It helps us get to the Pathfinder, but like a colorless land or a 2-drop would be better. Cyclone Sire, not bad. Slide Runner, another Sire. Yeah, we'll go with the Summoner, so if we want to, we can trade with the Slide Runner if opponent plays land, which we'll probably do. I could just trade damage back and forth also. But I think this is a pretty good trade. Our hand actually plays reasonably well for a long game. Okay, Relentless Hunter. Draw land, because someone trampled on a turn. So we can go for a Netcaster. We can sack the Scion to speed out the Sire. And Scion could also get the Pathfinder out a turn early if we wait. So a bit of a tough call. Either way, we're going to take 3 from the Hunter next turn, or on opponent's next turn. So a bit of a tough call. Also almost block with Sire, get the 3/3, play Spider, attack for 3, takes up their whole turn. But I don't like that too much. I guess I'm right on this one. I mean, the Sire, it keeps us even on the race. The Netcaster Spider might not be able to attack on our opponent's next turn. If we draw a land next turn, then probably we'd have preferred if we played Sire. If we draw a spell, then I don't know if it would matter too much. Maybe Spider would have been a little better, but I'll go with the Sire. Ouch, Netcaster Spider. And then we draw a Warcaller, which does kind of want us to have the Scion back. Good news is that we have a pretty reasonable double block. I mean, I guess we could trade Sire for Netcaster here, but we'll just sit back. If opponent attacks, we'll just double block. In fact, I don't really think they're going to be attacking. Maybe if they had some kind of cool trick, but there aren't that many tricks in this format. I don't think a lot of people play Swell of Courage. And the opponent doesn't really want to trade Hunter for half of the Sire, and they don't want to trade it for a Netcaster Spider, so I don't think they're going to attack this turn. Broodhunter Worm, that's also not that scary. It's a land for a couple turns. I mean, that sucks, but I mean, at this point, yeah, we're going to sack the Scion no matter what at some point. Yeah, missing this land drop really hurts here. His opponent can make an attack next turn, but we can still be okay. Also, the Sire making one of our lands a creature is kind of sketchy, since we can't afford to trade off our lands at this point. So, I mean, opponent seeing that we just skipped this land drop, you know, they now know that we've got, you know, maybe a trick, but that we've got a lot of fatties in hand. So they're probably pretty scared, and they probably want to just start attacking and just get as much damage in as possible. So we'll go for the double block. So if opponent doesn't want to pay any mana, they can just trade for the Spider. But they'd probably, like if they're going to play a 5-drop this turn, then they'll just trade for the Spider. Otherwise, they're going to want to kill the Sire. They do have a Brute Strength, so that gives them the ability to trade with both. It's not horrendous. So let's put this on the island. That's the thing we most likely trade. We've got a land, so we just go for another Sire. I think so. It's unfortunate to have to trade it off. We could make our island into a 6/6. So it's probably better than making, I think, yeah, 6/6 is definitely better than making 2 smaller lands, because it's easier to use the 6/6 and then have mana up for other things. And I don't think I can really take the 4 damage here, so I think I gotta trade. If they attack with both, then sure, I'll block Spider. So 3 plus 1 counters on land you control. Okay. Give make it a 9/9 with Rush of Ice. Play a Pathfinder. So if I draw a land, I'd probably make it a 9/9. I didn't. They don't have any colorless mana showing, so I'm probably okay. Just go for Gravity Negator Pass. On the other hand, if they do play a colorless Source, I'm wasting 6 damage by not attacking. I mean, that's a lot of damage to waste. But then I'm guaranteed to take 5 damage, and that's not very good. They only have 2 cards in hand. Can't be too likely that they'll just have a colorless Source next turn. And my hand's... Well, it's pretty nice if I can slow the game down a little bit. But it is tough, though, because if they just get 5 free damage in, even with my Rush of Ice, like that could swing the race eventually. But this is also the most likely turn that I'll be able to stop this damage. I mean, there's other cards beyond just a colorless land, like certain pump spells that would hurt. Well, I guess I'm just going to pass. It is really good for me if they can't attack this turn into the 6/6, and we just slow the game down a little bit. It's just risky, so. But in a way, I mean, I'm risking. I know I'm taking 5 damage if I attack, where I might not take 5 damage if I hold back. And against like a red-green deck, having your life total go really low is probably not a great idea. Okay, Grove Rumbler. And pass, okay. And we draw Endless One. It's interesting. We're still, like, we've just been a little bit short mana in this game. We can make it a 5/5 and trade it off with something next turn and take some damage, or we can make it a 4/4 and then maybe double block. I kind of like 4/4, maybe double block. It just prevents the opponent from getting in with the Rumbler no matter what. And yeah, I don't really think we have a better play like waiting. And this does protect against opponent drawing colorless mana. So I think this is overall good. Even though I'd definitely like to get it up to 5/5, so it could rumble with either of my opponent's creatures on its own. But I can double block with a Negator, and that serves basically the same purpose if my opponent can stop my island somehow. So this is going to be interesting as it develops. If opponent just doesn't have anything else going on eventually, I might tap down their Netcaster Spider and then use Negator, give like a huge land flying for 2 turns and attacking for like 22. But otherwise, like the board's stable right now, but it's gonna be hard for me to start winning. The Rush of Ice helps a little bit, but that's gonna leave me a little bit vulnerable to a swing back. The Pathfinder is, it just kind of trades with one of their fatties. So it gives me a little extra breathing room. And Urn Reef Invoker, so that's just, that's something that'll trade with one of my creatures. Oh, and Bushwhacker. Everything +1/+1 gain haste until end turn. So just gonna make one big attack here. And that'll be pretty good. Wow, it gave their 5/5s 6 power, so that means now I can't. That's basically game. That was a really huge play. Like now I can't stop these 6/5 guys. I gotta put 2 on 1. And if I block here, 2, 8, taking 11, I'm going to 1. And it's got to be about as good as I can do. And I'm going to need to... So 6... I guess I'm not dead. I suppose hopefully I draw a creature next turn, but then I would basically be stable. So this could have been a little worse. 2, 8, 11. Not taking any trample. I can't lose the island here. That'd be too much to come back from. And the question is, do we want to kill the Pathfinder or the Rumbler? And Rumbler, 5/5 trample. I think the Pathfinder is a little scarier. Going to 1 and facing trampling creature kind of sucks. But the island can always sit in front of it, I suppose. So I'm going to block like this. Okay, so this will just go Stalking Drone pass. Sit at 1. Opponent's on no cards. Ugh, they play 2 creatures this turn? That's really sick. That's really sick. Now I'm probably dead. I have 3 cards in hand that are all creatures, and he just drew 2 off the top. It's really unfortunate. Yeah, I can't do anything here. The only I can think of is just use Rush of Ice here and just pass the turn. And then if opponent wants to go all in, if I had some kind of response, I could destroy their board. So that's the only way I can possibly win here. And the fact that I didn't Rush of Ice pumping my guy does make it look like I kind of have something. And they didn't attack, so I get another turn. And I'll go for Entangler and pass. Because if I had something there, then I'll still have something. And I know I have 2 spells in hand, so it is kind of scary. They could just go for it, but it is bad if I have something. Alright, they got me. Let's just scare him with some blocks, show him just how bad things were going to be if I had something. Alright, on to game 2. So, I have a lot of fat creatures. Scour could be okay. Maybe cut the Entangler. Oh, Entangler seems reasonable. It's not great against Scion tokens. Otherwise, it's fine against them. And I do think curving out. We're going to be on the play. Curving out seems really important. So we'll just keep things the same. It's worth noting that, the risk I took where I left back my 6/6 rather than attacking with it I mean, getting that extra 5 damage helped, significantly compared to taking my opponent from 20 to 14. So, I mean, that gave us a legitimate shot at winning that game. Even though it felt really awful, and it would feel really bad if my opponent did draw a waste or something like that. So it's a tough play to make, but I just looked at the cards in our hand, and it looked like we would have a good shot of winning a late game if we could just leave our life total high enough. So I went for it, and I think it turned out. I mean, yeah, it definitely turned out well. Even though opponent drew 2 cards, 2 creatures that turn, I was able to finish this off. So we've come back for before in this draft, and I think we can do it again. Let's play first. We kept the Entangler, and we actually drew a couple non-creature spells. So this hand's pretty strong. It really depends on the kind of defenses that our opponent's going to have this game, how good this start is going to be. But we have 2 creatures followed by pumping both creatures, and then can tap down something. So this might be fast enough. And happy to draw the 3rd land. So go with Drone, I think. It gets through more on turn 2 or on turn 3. And I don't think I'm going to want to trade off no matter what. So if the opponent plays a 2-power thing, I'm just going to sit back. And nice, Legak. So this could be a pretty quick win if we draw our 4th land. Oh no, I was just gonna say, hope he doesn't have Kozilek's Return. That is ridiculous. Oh, that's basically game over. And let's just throw out the Legak. That's pretty ridiculous. Well, yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, just needed 1 turn, we'd put everything out of range. That's ridiculous. Let's go for a 4/4 Endless One. Still win this game. I mean, the Rush of Ice could be really good. And if the opponent keeps playing a couple fatties, hopefully we hit our 5th land, can rush with Awaken. So the opponent just passes. They had Brute Strength. And Legak's pretty nice. We could Rush of Ice and just attack with both. It plays around any pump. I mean, it's pretty good play. Because if we go Legak and the opponent has Brute Strength, I guess that's not the worst. Like, it'll take out one of our creatures, and then we still have the Rush left over. I guess we'll just go with Legak here. I mean, we're definitely in the driver's seat even after that Kozilek's Return. And, I mean, we're probably going to win this game at this point. So, I mean, opponent can use their Brute Strength to either just immediately kill the Legak. Okay, Swell of Growth. So that's going to actually beat my Endless One. And then I guess if the opponent actually has a colorless Eldrazi that they're going to play at 7 or more, they can actually play it next turn and then kill the rest of my board. That would be ridiculous. That would be a legit way to die. It would be unfortunate though, because we could have gone for the Rush of Ice play, but I guess the Rush of Ice play loses to a big Eldrazi either way. I want to lose that way. That'd just be too awesome. Like, that'd just be such a blowout. Well, they're attacking, so I don't think that's happening. Oh no, it deals 5 to everything? Is that what it does? It's 5 to everything. Alright, we're taking it. Rolling Thunder. Okay. I mean, that'll do it. Okay, we got the land at least. Let's go for a Rush. I think. Yeah, it's probably worth it. Well, I mean, the hope would be to like take a hit, go for Pathfinder. I mean, Rush is good if we just draw a spell next turn. It just gives us something to attack with, maybe. I guess it sucks if the opponent actually just kills the land we rush onto. 3, 6, 6, 5. This opponent attacks for 5. If we just pass, I'll just go for the Rush. So it prevents some damage. It lets us deal some damage, hopefully. Oh, don't be no. Okay, at least it's a 6-mana Eldrazi. Still bad. All right, we got the Pathfinder. Unfortunately, opponent can make an attack here, and that just does a little too much damage to us. So it's going to be hard. Just with that, I'll take it. I guess we'll attack with Pathfinder and then lead by example. We attack with both. Just block. So, we could also put a counter on the Druid, so we'd have 2 like 3-power creatures instead of a 4/4 forest. Maybe it's still better to just get the 4/4 forest. So, alright, and opponent didn't play a land, so they actually have spells in hand. It's kind of unfortunate. In fact, they might have Brute Strength here. Though, if they had Brute Strength, I think they would have attacked with both. I mean, maybe they were afraid of getting killed if I don't know, played some pump spell. Okay, just take it. We're not going to do anything. I like that they're just taking it. So maybe they're thinking, well, Pathfinder takes 3 hits to kill, so we can go for a race. And actually have the extra damage from Lead by Example in the last card. We'll see what they do here, though. Because now the Relentless Hunter, they've got 9 lands. Though, what's in their hand, though? That's the thing. They didn't play a land last turn. So they attack with both. They go Pump, Pump, Brute Strength. That's 8, 13 trample. It's tough. What if I just block with Forest? This is kind of scary. I mean, if I take it all and they have nothing, which I don't think they have nothing, but if they did, then I would go to 1. Assuming they just pump this 3 times. So I would go to 1 and then I'd win. And I do think that they have something, so I don't think I want to do that. Because they didn't play land last turn when they could have and should have. So they have 2 spells in hand. So if they have like Brute Strength, and I put the Forest on one of their creatures, probably on the Pathfinder, so then it'd be 8 plus 5, 13. So I'd survive that. What if I put the Druid plus Lead by Example? That's 2. I would survive that also. If they have Brute Strength and Pump. If I just put the Druid on the Pathfinder. But, I mean, Forest on Pathfinder. That's reasonable. And I don't know if there's going to be a big difference between like which one I block with. I mean, the Lead by Example, though, I mean, it might fool opponent into going for it. Also, I don't know. If I could get them to actually put all their mana in. 7, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I think I'm going to block with a Lifespring Druid. And then that'll encourage the opponent to dump all their mana to try to kill me. And then I'll go for Lead by Example, and that should win. So 8, 11, 12, 13. Wait a second. 8. Oh yeah, 8, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Okay, Brute Strength. Lead by Example. Go to 1. And tap back for lethal. Alright. Whew. That was fun. You know, I guess what did I do wrong there? Oh, no. I had the math right. Yeah, no, that was perfect. Alright. Okay. Finally play a game correctly. So negates could be good against I don't know. It's good against Rolling Thunder, against Kozilek's Return. I mean, it's not great against Return if it's just like turn 3 or something. Excuse me. Probably want Scour. This opponent's just on big fatty plan. Entangler, I think, can go. Maybe on the draw. It's not as important. And opponent does have Kozilek's Return and Rolling Thunder, so a 2-1 gets a decent amount weaker. Also, like Eyeless Watcher isn't as exciting. Cultivator Drone gets a little bit better. Might go with Drone over Lifespring Druid because of that. It actually survives Kozilek's Return. And they were so close already. Abstruse Interference. It's cute because the opponent does have some nice cards that can counter. But I think we're good. Let's try to win this. It does suck being on the draw. The deck definitely plays better on the play. And it's a hand that's okay. Probably gonna keep it. That's a good turn 2 play, good turn 4 play. And if I just draw Lagak, it's already looking pretty decent. I mean, the only issue is it can't really deal with any of his fatties. So could consider mulligan. It doesn't have a colorless land for the Stalking Drone, but I think it's like there was a hand that was really borderline with like Netcaster Spider and a grip earlier. I think this is a little better because at least I know I'm going to be making some good early plays. And Sylvan Advocate helps. I'll probably just run that. Yeah, I'll run that out in turn 2. It survives Kozilek's return. It pretty much attacks for anything. Pretty much just want to draw spells and more spells. I'll get that every game. And Warcaller's very, very nice. So hopefully we don't get Kozilek's returned here, but otherwise we're going to get in for a ton of damage. I could have Swell Courage, so I can't double block here. Even though otherwise I'd be okay with it. Just trade Advocate for the 3/3. Yeah, I mean, I'd be okay with it, but Advocate is probably a little bit better than Relentless Hunter for most of the late game, up until they have like 9 mana available. Brood Hunter Worm. And Cyclone Sire is a great draw. We'll see how opponent attacks. Because we can sack Scion to pump the Stalking Drone, which also helps against Kozilek's return if they have that here. But otherwise, I'm probably just going to take all the damage and go for Warcaller and just get a giant hit in. I can trade like Drone and Watcher for the Worm. But I'd probably rather just take a hit and pump with Warcaller. Also, the Cyclone Sire is great here. Okay, they go for Kozilek's return. That sucks, but you can at least pump this guy. And then opponent doesn't really have good attacks this turn. But it does really hurt my Warcaller, so I can't get a giant attack in. So I'll probably just go for the Cyclone Sire line. Rot Shambler. And I guess I can go for an attack if I wanted to now, but they hold back. So Stalking Drone. Let's go for Cyclone Sire. It's also good with the Advocate. So opponent probably is going to sit back for this turn. They could attack with the Worm, thinking like their Shambler is going to get bigger. So that's not awful, but I mean they kill my Sire, but then I get a 5/5 because of the Advocate once I play my 6th land. So I mean they're trading a creature to make my guy into a 5/5, which isn't that great. I mean, they might want to kill a Sire at some point because it does just swing in for 3 in the air, but it needs to stay back on defense right now. So they're not in a hurry to make that transfer of Sire into a creature land. Rolling Thunder, okay. Okay, now it's not as exciting to kill off the worm. And I can do it. I'd really want to get colorless mana and then just trade drones straight up for worm. I think I'm going to block. I don't love it, but it's either take 4 damage and then I can pretty much stabilize next turn. I should have made an island into the land. I think we just play both of these and pass. Could maybe attack with the 3/3. But if the opponent plays a land, attacks with their 3/3, I guess I just take it and swing back. So yeah, I'll attack with the forest. I wish I could just like get in with drone and bluff some damage. And I guess I'm saying that I wish I had the colorless mana. Go for another drone. So if opponent has another fatty that can attack with Relentless Hunter, I pretty much have to take it. Well, I guess if they play their land, if they don't play a land and attack, it's interesting. So I could put Drone and Spider on it, but then I get hurt by the pump spells, Brute Strength, Swell Courage that we've seen. So I'll probably just take it. Another Relentless Hunter. Okay, well that explains a little bit why they've had one each game. Okay. Alright, I think this is the turn to go for a big attack. So let's get everything in. Do I have other allies? I kept thinking I had other allies, but I don't know if I do at this point. I think I actually have all of them out. Because I cut the 2/1, and I already lost the Advocate. So I don't think I have any more allies, which it'd be incredible if I had multiple allies left in the deck to give me more chances at getting another overrun effect. But yeah, I don't have them in. But hopefully my opponent's enough scared of the Warcaller, me having another ally, that they feel like they need to make trades here more than they would otherwise. So I'm pretty happy to just mow down a chunk of their team. If they don't have Pump, I'm really happy to trade. Oh, they just block like that. Oh, I guess they're going to go like Brute Strength. Just take 2 for 1. Go to 5. Huh. I'm a little confused by that. They might just concede here. I don't. that would be my hope. I have a Netcaster Spider. Come on, give me a Rush of Ice. That's what I need. That would put this game away. I got 2 of them. Grip would also be pretty strong, not quite as good. I have a Bushwhacker. So I need to top deck something. They have 1 card in hand. And I mean, my life total, I've got so much extra life than them. Titan Coils, that's pretty good. Really use some colorless mana. I mean, I can go Coils on the Hunter, but that doesn't help too much. If I send the Forest, They can double block. I just trade for Spider. That's not very good. And if I coils here, I got 4 minutes on clock. Coils here, I attack with everything. Then, I mean, they get to chump with it still. I think I'm just going to pass. I don't think there's, like, if opponent plays like a 5-5, I'd rather coils that. And I don't think on their turn there's a big problem with letting them have all power from their hunters. Aggressor has haste to be a close creature. Alright, they have no cards in hand. Lagak, that's good. So, probably definitely on the forest. I guess I'm not sure how to do this, but and Spider couldn't hurt. Drone. Yeah, I'll do it on drone. And I'll keep passing. If I attack with forest, they just block with 2/2/3s. I mean, if they just play a land here, I might go coils on their 3/3 and then attack with everything. But I want to keep getting. There we go. There, that's what we need. So what do we do with this, though? I can just put it on some of my small creatures and then attack with everything. That's probably good enough. So, I mean, the Spider, then maybe Drone. Five creatures. Could also wait one turn. Let's put it on Drone. I think if I wait one turn, that's fine. Because I'm going to get an extra 3 damage in from Lagak. I mean, I guess if they go like land 7-mana Eldrazi, that would be ridiculous. But I don't think that's likely. If they play one more creature, that is unfortunate. They play Pathfinder, so at least I have a better target for the coils. But they're tapped out this turn, so they can't pump their 3/3. So I think this is a great turn to go in. And we got the Unknown Shores. That's exactly what we wanted. So we go there, and we can probably just send everybody in. Can't see how this goes too badly. Like, I could put a lot of thought into it and be like, oh, I'm just throwing away my War Caller here. But, I mean, they've got 6 creatures. They've got to block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because okay, so, like, they basically they can let one creature through if they've got to block everything else. So I don't know. I'm still not sure if sending the War Caller is going to affect anything, but I do know that this is a very nice attack. Does return deal damage to players? No, just creature. I mean, if opponent still next turn goes land 7-mana Eldrazi, return this back, it could be really sick. It'd be a reasonable way to lose. I wouldn't mind that. Alright, F6. And we got it. Nice. Whew. Wow, that was a tough one. Yeah, a lot of really close games, ending up at like 1 life. Yeah, a lot of crazy comebacks, and yeah, that last match was really nice. Facing Kozilek's Return, Rolling Thunder, ton of fatties. Yeah, especially the game 2. Doing the math, seeing if they go all in on the brute strength, we would end up at 1 life. That was really sick. So that was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed watching that. I'll be doing more of the Gatewatch drafts. I think it definitely is an improvement to the Battle for Zendikar format. It's a lot more interesting aggro decks and more variety. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.